Hey Scorpio, it's me, Tina with 85th House Vibrations, and this is your general monthly reading for May 2019. I hope everybody is doing well. Rabbit, it's the first of the month, people, and the moon is in Aries. You're opposite signs, so your wants and needs might be at odds with each other right now, but I say, if you've been feeling a little lax with this Taurus energy, especially when that moon is in Pisces, was in Pisces, which was what, yesterday. I just feel like, I know me as a Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, man, I have been struggling to get it together, but I had surgery earlier in the month, and so I'm supposed to be in recovery mode anyway. I feel limited, but that's neither here nor there. Some of you Scorpios, I want to say that I feel like that there's something that you are fighting for, have been fighting for a long time, and you've come up against opposition after opposition after opposition, and I think you conquered what it is that you were fighting for. So now there's this world of opportunity that is right in front of you. That's not to say that things are going to be just 100% smooth sailing, but I feel like, Scorpio, you can see which opportunities are out there, see where you might be going, and you are going to surrender to that. And surrender in a way that doesn't leave you helpless. Surrender in a way that just says, I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. And I think in the end, that could be a good thing for you. And that's neither here nor there. The cards may slap me and say, shut up, girl, you're lying, to the Scorpios. But that's something that is on my heart for you. Right? Okay. So the first card is the King of Rods. And this dude is always going places. We'll talk about him in a minute. The next card is the Three of Pentacles reversed. And the last card is the Devil reversed. All right. So King of Rods is generally he's represented by Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, full of fire. And one of the things that I say about the King of Rods is he's very well traveled, well-rounded as a result of his experiences of having just done this, that, and the other thing. And he's the king now, so like he's really mastered these experiences. I've heard, I think it was Gregory Scott say that when you're the king of a particular suit, you are no longer ruled by the element, you rule the element. So the king, in all of his experiences, now he's at a mastery level. He knows how to support himself. He's got his support here should he need it, and also a weapon should he need it. But he's the king and he runs everything, so I just see that as a support staff for him right now, and probably something to remind him of the travels that he's been on, the things he's seen, the things that he's done. And even though he's the king, there is still more to come. He's mature in age, he's done a lot, but he's still got plenty of room for growth and development, not maybe as the mastery of his element, but just as an expansion and exploration of all the things that he's already done. Okay. The next card is the Three of Pentacles reversed. So whatever the king, I think, is doing, whatever it is that he's looking at, doesn't really have anything to do with anybody else. This is not a team effort for the King of Rods right now. Working in a group, working with other people would probably be detrimental to him right now. At the stage that he's in his development, he's not even being arrogant about it, but he's turned his back on the team for whatever reason, because he's just ready to do it by himself. And he doesn't need the help or the support of any physical person. I think the only thing he needs is the passion and the energy, and he's already got it. And so now he's just looking to do whatever it is that he can do with this well-developed character. The last card is the Devil reversed. Whatever it is, whatever demons, habits, compulsions, crutches that anybody has ever needed to lean on in this particular situation, they don't need that anymore. Even though this staff could still be considered a crutch, because he's the king, he knows how, when, and where to utilize that crutch. And I think that even when we master a particular element, a particular subject, particular situation, we're still human beings. So maybe every now and again we do need the support of something. We need to lean on something, because nobody's perfect. But he's mastered something. He's mastered an element. Doesn't mean he's mastered the entirety of his life. He's mastered the element of fire. So let's look at it that way. But mastering that element of fire has given him the opportunity to not be so attached to the things that don't serve him. I keep saying him, but this could very well be him, her, you know what I'm saying? Or this is gender fluid. So anyway, having that Devil card come up reversed is a great thing. This means that he's not just grounded in the physical things. He's actually looking towards his spirituality, his creativity. Oh, I'm sorry. I just lost my whole train of thought. But he's looking away from just the tangible things that he can touch and see and feel. He's looking outward towards the things that he knows exist that are beyond just creature comforts. Which is probably why he doesn't need the physical help or dependence on any particular group of people. Okay, I'm gonna pull a clarifier on the Devil. I also want to see where the king could be going. I'm curious about that. So let's pull 2 cards. See what the king is looking at, what he's got his sights set on. And then what it is that he's broke the chains from. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. The 5 of Cups is heartbreak and disappointment. And the 8 of Cups is walking away from it. All right. So, the King of Rods is looking at heartbreak and disappointment. But like I said, with the 8 of Cups here on the Devil, the 8 of Cups says that we're going to walk away from something, even though we don't know what else is out there. Okay, I think I see what's up. And And see, walking away from those 8 cups, that would say that we had at some point in our lives at least 8 things that we could hold on to. And we probably did hold on to that with all of our might. We were chained to that thing. There are mountains to climb, and the waters can be rocky when we decide to walk away from bad habits, old ways, things that are of detriment to us. Even though they may have felt nice and it looked all good, we know that walking away from it can definitely cause us some disappointment and some heartbreak. And the king, being the king, has not lost sight of that. He realizes, because of all of his knowledge and experience, that striking out on his own and walking away from his crutches can certainly bring some heartbreak. He could certainly stand to lose. But at the same time, what he also sees is the fact that even if he loses some, there's still some left. And this is the gift of connection with the 2 of Cups standing up. This is the gift of connection. And generally, when I see the 2 of Cups, I think of relationships that have been around for a while. This is generally a reconnection of some sort. So he's looking to reconnect, or sees that there's the ability to still reconnect with something that was good, even though he knows that he stands to lose something. And maybe what it is he stands because these are cups, and this is love, and this is emotion. He could be standing to lose the connections with certain people, but still have available to him the ones that are most important, or the one that is most important. And he's got his support, and I guess his little crutch if he needs it, if things gets that bad. So yeah, let's not get this wrong, Scorpio. This is not a bad thing. This is just about, I think, being realistic about your journeys as you move forward. And actually, with these 3 of Cups down on the ground like this, these may have been connections that you needed to sever anyway. Connections that you needed to sever to certain habits or even people. The 3 of Cups, when it's in reverse, can talk about overindulgence. It could talk about doing, say like you went through a breakup and you just want to stay home and eat crackers or whatever the case may be, but your friends or whomever influence you, well, let's just go out and have a good time, and then you do too much, and you really weren't feeling it, but you kind of do too much. It's an overindulgence. It's doing too much. So those that are down on the ground are probably not the real deal anyway. They needed to go, and it could feel like a disappointment at first. But that's okay. Never fear, my dear Scorpio. This is all good. You are the master, and you've cut these unbearable chains. You're willing to go through whatever it is that you have to go through in order to be all that you can be. And that's what's important. And there's not a near one of us who's going to go through life without ever having a problem, without ever facing disappointment or heartbreak. But in the end, it really is about our perspective on these things, because that's what the 5 of Cups represents. It's the perspective. It's how you perceive these 3 cups on the ground, and how you perceive these 2 cups that are still standing behind you. And I want to go ahead and point out something else. If he looks up away from what's going on the ground, we already talked about what was behind him, and he can always turn back to that if necessary. But just right there across the stream, or the lake, or whatever that is, it's abundance, a bunch of greenery, and there's a place where he could take cover and refuge. It's certainly not all bad. As a matter of fact, these 3 cups on the ground are minor in comparison to everything that's going on around them. There's water, there's greenery, there are other cups, shelter, there's blue skies, even though they've got a few clouds in them, which is the way I like my rainy days. So yeah, it's all good, Scorpio. I just think, you know how it is, how we can be, we can make everything a little heavy and dark, and it may just be our own perspective. So that's the way I see it. And if anybody would like to get a personal reading with me, my information is in the description box below. That's it, and I hope to talk to you guys again next month.